Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Glutzen. I'm a Scrum Master and Agile Coach. Today I'll talk about how do we improve our retrospectives with the use of the solution-focused toolkit. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share. It's highly appreciated and gives me a lot of energy to see that it's useful. When we do retrospective, the first thing we often hear is this: so what worked well, what didn't work? The problem with that approach is that we then start to become problem-focused instead of solution-focused. And I've written down 3 tips here on how can we then change this into a more solution-focused retrospective. First off, don't focus on things that is not working. Focus on what works and do more of that. Amplify that. If we have something that was a success, how can we do more of that? How can we make sure that we keep doing that and get even bigger benefits and outputs from this? It's super important that we do stuff that works because that grows self-confidence and helps the team to actually become a team. And that equips them with the confidence to address the more difficult situations that will occur over time. Secondly, if something is not working, don't focus on all the bad stuff. Don't focus on the things that's not working. Focus instead on how can we see that we now have something that works instead. So what would you like to have happen instead? Because when we then start to recognize that this solution has been found, so for instance, let's say we have a problem with merge requests being ready for too long time and we don't focus on that, then focus on identifying how can we see that it's not a problem anymore. It could be that our control chart is flatter, that we don't have small dots on a board saying that this has now been here for 3 stand-ups or whatever. But focus on that and then figure out what actions do we then need to take to make sure that these changes happen. And again, when that starts to work, then amplify that. Amplify how can we make sure that these signs occur in an even broader scale. And the third tip, again, some teams, especially younger teams, focus a lot on all the problems around the team. Instead, make sure that the team focuses on the other participants in the team and what are the resources or capabilities or strengths that this team possess. So where is it that we as a team can move the needle, and where we are not dependent upon other teams or other resources, other people to help us? Where is it that we can improve? When we have identified these areas, amplify what works. If something is not working, focus on how can we see that it's working and then amplify that. Of course, there will be some stuff that is outside the team's control, but then focus on how can we see something has changed, something has become better, and build a solution around those changes and figure out what actions need to come. And that's probably where the Scrum Master or team lead steps in and helps resolving these things outside the team. I am hoping this gave you an idea on how to move forward with the retrospectives. And then, as always, I'm hoping that some of you will share how are you doing these things, how are you making your retrospectives, for instance, solution focused or whatever you call it. And as always, comments, questions and ideas are more than welcome. And I guess that's it. Have a nice day.